Anna Meshnick getting ready for her second inning of work. Allowed a 2-out walk, but got a pop out to retire the side. Illinois State then had a runner on third with 1 out, but could not score the runner. So neither team on the board just yet. Scott Sudikoff and Nicole Mendez with you, as Janelle Martinez leads off for FIU, the first baseman, taking ball 1. Martinez, a senior from Puerto Rico, 1 for 3 yesterday with an infield single in the win over Boise State. A little low, as you can hear the umpires say. They're behind the plate, 2-0. Martinez, 5 for 20 on the season, 250 with 4 RBI. Fouls it off her foot, and it's 2-1.
Really like Mishnick, the way that she approached that first inning, her style. She did have that 1 walk, but for the most part, she was going at the hitters and really using full use of her velo. So she is ranging up and in like that pitch we just saw, and low and away. A little bit of drop ball, a little bit of off speed. She really did show this good hitting team a whole mix for FIU. You know you're going to have to start to eliminate pitches to be able to be effective in the box.
3-1 pitch, low and in, ball 4. So the second walk issued by Meshnick sends Martinez to first base. It'll bring up the shortstop, Sammy Zelenka. Zelenka yesterday was perfect. Was 2 for 2, the freshman from Miami out of Florida Christian. Both instances she was pinch ran for. Both times the pinch runner scored. So she doesn't get credit for those runs scored, but she helped initiate them in what was a 2-run victory for FIU. Digs back in here with Martinez at first base. Zelenka hits it on the ground the opposite way. The second baseman, Bryant, will throw to second for 1 there. Back to first, not in time. Not an easy play for Delaney Bryant, going towards the first base bag to reverse course and throw back to second, but makes it look pretty smooth.
Pretty smooth indeed, and just being able to work that footwork, knowing that you don't have as much speed running from home to first. You have time to get that lead out, possibly the second, but working your footwork to set yourself up for that throw to second.
Strike 1 to Bailey Grossenbacher, who appeared mid-game yesterday as a pinch runner and then moved into right field. Second team All-Conference USA last year. Ball on a strike to the grad student. He's hitting 2 for 16 on the year. Top 10 in the conference last year in batting average when she hit .349, drove in 30 RBI. Got jammed and underneath it, into the shadows and right down the line, caught by Larson for out number 2.
Sometimes as a hitter, you get so excited whenever you see that pitch that you're hunting, waist high, inside half of the plate, and you want to go get it. You want to attack, but staying patient, staying within your body and just rotating around, that is where you get those miscues, those mishaps, the sky-high fly balls.
Another first pitch out as Bella Perez pops out to the left side of the infield, and that retires the side leadoff walk. But the runner is stranded after an inning and a half. FIU 0, Illinois State 0 on Flow College. it'll be Tatum Wolford, Julia Larson, and Bella Wilkerson due up for Illinois State. 5, 6, and 7 in the lineup against Brooke McNichols, who gave up a leadoff hit that was really no fault of her own. A sky-high ball in back of shortstop that Andy Zelenka could not really track. So that was it in the first inning, as we're scoreless so far. And Nicole, I'm sure you played your fair share of early morning games. A little different preparation-wise, right? Because you don't get as much time to get your body warm, and your pregame meal might be rushed. All their superstitions could be rushed. So it might take a little extra time for these teams to ease into this one.
Especially ones that start at 10 a.m. Now, most teams, they'll get to the field and start warming up 2 hours prior.
Wolford first pitch swinging, and right at the second base bag, caught by Catherwood. A lot of early swings in this one so far.
Absolutely. These hitters are wanting to attack, but again, it's all about eliminating pitches from a pitcher's repertoire. Is that up pitch necessarily the one you want to go after? Maybe, maybe not, but as a team or as an individual, you have to decide. You can't continue to go after that high pitch and the low pitch. Your swing path, the planes, they look different.
Ball one, low and in to the right fielder, Julia Larson, sophomore from St. Charles, Illinois. 1 for 14 on the year, and the one came yesterday against BYU. Looks like, again, maybe an issue with the technology. You know, these things didn't happen 20 years ago, Nicole. We didn't have pauses for technology delays.
Just your signs, right?
Ground ball up the middle, base hit for Larson. Her second hit in as many days and her second hit of the season. Illinois State has a runner on with one out.
In this one, I talk about getting on plane early for Illinois State. That is a big goal for them, and that's what you see. As soon as that swing started, that barrel got on the plane of the ball, and it stayed all the way through.
Ball one inside of the catcher, Bella Wilkerson, who's trying to get going this season. First team All-Missouri Valley Conference last year. Hit .265 with 2 homers and 19 RBI. 1 for 14 to begin this season. 0 for 2 yesterday. The pitch from McNichols. A looper, shallow right onto the infield dirt. Caught by Grossenbacher.
This one just looped up, and Grossenbacher, for a second, it looked like she might go over to first. And as an outfielder, especially as a lefty, that angle from right field, that is a hard angle to get. So knowing, okay, if I throw this, is this going to be the right throw? Holding up, that's a good call.
High ball one to Bela Bogner. Had 4 at-bats this year, 1 for 4. Does have 2 RBI. Cut and a miss. Going down to second. Larson will swipe the bag as the ball skips away from Zelenka. Stolen base for Julia Larson. Gets her in scoring position. Her first steal in her first attempt of the year.
This is a good throw, but also, if I'm Larson, I'm wanting to get up and try to make a run for it. Not only did I feel like that base was blocked as a base runner, but also if I get up and try to run, that's automatically obstruction, and who knows, maybe I'll be safe at third, maybe not.
They are checking on the count here. Should be 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bogner with the 9th place hitter Ella Boyer on deck for the Redbirds. Brooke McNichols delivers, and it's 1-2. McNichols last pitched on the 9th against Stony Brook, 3 1/3. No runs, 3 hits in that game. No walks and 1 strikeout, so coming off a solid outing 5 days ago. 2-2 to Bogner. Bouncer foul.
Especially as a pitcher, you never really know. You might have an idea, oh, I might be used this day, I might be used that day, but in preseason, anything goes. It's almost a little like postseason, so taking care of your arm, being ready whenever your name is called.
And McNichols gets the swing and miss from Bogner, the first strikeout of the game for Brooke McNichols, retires the side in the second. We're through 2. Nobody has crossed the plate yet. 0-0 your score on Flow College.
Visit flowcollege.com to keep watching beyond the tournament. That's FLOcollege.com.
Top of the third inning with no score, just 4 base runners so far in this game. 2 hits from Illinois State, 2 walks drawn from the Panthers. As back in the circle for Illinois State is Hannah Meshnick to face 9-1-2 in the FIU lineup. And ball 1 to the third baseman, Paige Miller, who had 2 hits yesterday, and they were both bunt singles for the sophomore. 6 for 14 on the year. Going for another bunt single. It's a fair ball throw to first, and she's denied as Wilkerson throws her out, with the second baseman Bryant ranging over to cover first base.
And look at Wilkerson, how she explodes out of this one. Doesn't give it time to even bounce down after the first bounce on the ball. Just going out and attacking. And if this ball is, or this bunt is maybe a foot or 2 farther out, it might be closer, but whenever it's that close to the plate.
Now Bryant will throw it to first to get Meredith. And 2 efficient outs for Meshnick in the third.
I mean, quick, back to back. It's a little too hard if you're going to be hitting it over to second. You see a little bit of frustration for Meredith.
These teams swinging the bat a little like they have lunch reservations. Normally you would say dinner reservations, but it is only 10:30.
It is early.
In the morning. Now, that being said, FIU is playing again right after this one against North Dakota State, and Illinois State plays later today at 3 o'clock Central Time against Indiana. Bunt spins back foul. It'll be 0-2 to Collier Peden, who grounded out the second her first time.
Feeling a lot of touch and go from FIU, not just this inning, but this game. Really trying to make Illinois State defense work.
Meshnick, a junior, delivers the 0-2, and it's slapped foul. Meshnick has won 11, now 12 games in her 2+ years in the circle, and, well, she'll get the third out here. Must have stepped out of the box on the swing there, Peden, and that's going to retire the side. I was just about to say that Hannah Meshnick, 12 wins over her first 2+ years and a 4.0 GPA over her first 2 years at Illinois State. So quite the student athlete. We'll go to the bottom of the third. No score, Panthers and Redbirds on Flow College.
We move to the bottom of the third. Still no score.
Your college sports have a home on Flow College. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 100 schools and 12 different conferences only on Flow College. Head to flowcollege.com today to see everything now. Bottom three, 9-1-2 due up for Illinois State. Ella Boyer, Delaney Bryant, and Bella Atkinson against Brooke McNichols, who's allowed 2 hits through the first 2 innings with no walks and 1 strikeout, and strike 1 to Boyer. Boyer looking for her first hit of the season, a sophomore's 0 for 15 on the year. So it's down on the count right now, 0-2. Redbirds only had 2 hits in yesterday's 1-0 defeat against BYU. Chopper to the left side. Third baseman Miller ranges over, throws strong to Martinez, and Boyer retired 5-3.
This one just out in front. It looks more so timing than anything, and I think that is a credit to McNichols of how she has been spreading the tight end pitch, the low and away, and the off speed. It is hard to get your bounce in. I know I've said this a few times before, but as a team, whenever you get a couple innings into the game, you've been through the lineup already. Once the adjustments, they need to be faster.
Delaney Bryant, well, she had a hit in the first inning, but this one, she smokes into left field. The one in the first inning was a blooper that probably should have been caught, but she's 2 for 2 either way.
Third base, number 7, Bella Atkinson.
I mean, that's the adjustment that you want to see right there, is you see your teammate out in front early, getting off time, knowing what side of the plate you're going, and attacking whenever you see it.
High ball 1 to Bella Atkinson, who laid down a sacrifice bunt that moved Bryant to third base in the first inning. Redbirds have had 2 runners left in scoring position over the first 2 innings of the game. Atkinson, first year at Illinois State, transfer from Lakeland College in Illinois. At the junior college level, hit .388 last year with 2 homers and 40 RBI, 1 for 11 to begin her NCAA career. Strike at the knees, 2-1.
I would love to see something from Illinois State that is short game, that is touch and go, that makes this defense work.
Being called in the infield by Martinez, and there's out 2. Be up to Abby Knight.
Because right now we're seeing the tendency of 6 fly balls for outs, and whenever you see that tendency as a team, you go, okay, we're popping everything up. Let's try to hit some hard ground balls. Let's see if that adjustment can make a difference in our at-bats, in our approaches. If I'm looking to hit something hard in the ground, I more than likely won't be chasing after balls that are higher up in the zone.
Abby Knight popped out to third base. Gets a good piece of this one, but ranging back is Meredith. Makes the catch on the run. And that retires the side. So Illinois State's had a hit in each of the first 3 innings, but they've left 3 on base. We've played 3. Illinois State and FIU knotted up at 0.
And staff for your continued hospitality during the Puerto Vallarta College Challenge.
Scott Sudikoff and Nicole Mendez back with you as we have zoomed through 3 innings with no score. The Panthers and the Redbirds. FIU does not yet have a hit in this game off of Hannah Meshnick. They do have 2 base runners via the walk, but FIU trying to get their offense going. They have 13 hits in a 4-2 win yesterday against Boise State. Came into the day hitting .339 as a team and scoring more than 5 runs per game.
Got to give credit to Meshnick. He's been throwing a great game. Just getting these hitters to feel off balance. You never really see FIU look totally on time in the box, and a big credit to her for continuing to move things around. I also think, talking about changing strategy as an offense, going after early pitches. We've seen 6 of these batters so far in the first 3 innings go after a swing within the first 2 pitches. And whenever you're not quite getting the results that you want or getting those quick outs, you want to slow that game down a little bit, be more patient.
Catherwood watches it outside. Catherwood has a hit in every game this season coming into play today. 7 for 20 on the year, .350 the average. Transfer from St. John's River State College. Played 2 years there. A high strike on the inner half, 2-2.
I love that location, just right at the letters, tight on the corner. In on the hands. That's a pitcher's pitch right there.
Bird and Martinez to follow for the Panthers. And after raising the eye level, goes a bit higher and then changes it to outside part of the plate and gets Catherwood to swing and miss.
Talk about a ladder. This one slightly higher than the last pitch. Yes, on the other side, but think about a ladder as the leading of a pitcher to work a ball up or down in the zone, in or out.
Goes off speed for strike 1 to Kennedy Bird. Popped out to left field in the first inning. Bird is 3 for 16 on the year. Another junior college transfer, first team All-American from Lewisburg, where she was the pitcher of the year with a 31-1 record, but also hit 23 home runs and a .342 average. Smokes this one. Out of the outfield grass, it'll race to the fence, picked up by Wolford, and Kennedy Bird with a 2-bagger in the first hit of the game for the Panthers.
This one couldn't come at a more crucial time. Bird staying low, keeping that posture down on that low and away pitch and just driving it out to left center. But talk about timing. You get into the 4th inning, you're kind of midway through the game. Those are the adjustments that you want to see. That's the attack that you want to see as an offense, because getting started with a hit like that causes momentum inside your dugout. Next thing you know, whenever teams like FIU score, they score fast.
Only their 6th extra base hit of the season. They've all been doubles. As we have mentioned on a few occasions, that's the way they win, is swiping bags, getting balls on the ground, beating them out in the infield. Janelle Martinez on the ground to second base. Bryant will throw to third and get the pinch runner, Lindsey Burrows, there. Nice play by Delaney Bryant. It was hit hard enough. She was decisive. And Nicole, as you talk about, you have to know what you're doing before the pitch is even made, right? So she knew in her mind, if I get this spot, I can go to third.
Yeah, talk about anticipation. Having that in your mind, if this happens, where do I go? What do I do? Just great anticipation there. And Illinois State just really taking, I mentioned momentum, taking that momentum right back from FIU whenever they get a big-time double and then getting it out at third. That is the last place you want to get thrown out.
Sammy Zelenka reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning, grounds it to third, stabbed by by Atkins tonight. And the one-out double by Bird. But it is wasted by the Panthers. After 3.5 in Puerto Vallarta, Panthers and Redbirds 0-0. You're watching the 2025 Puerto Vallarta College Challenge on Flow Sports. Addison Mashing, Tatum Wolford, Julia Larson will be batting for Illinois State against Brooke McNichols. In the circle for FIU, Scott Sudikoff and Nicole Mendez with you in Puerto Vallarta as getting the day started. Game 1 of 4 today. Coming up next, Florida International. FIU will stay out there and take on North Dakota State. Illinois State will return to play Indiana at 3 o'clock. And then Indiana will match up with Boise State at 6 p.m. The 5-game day today. Boise State will finish the day against BYU. So our lone 5-game day of this event in Puerto Vallarta over these 2 weeks coming at you today. Mashing got to bunt her way aboard to begin the 4th inning, and it goes foul.
I mentioned it last inning. I wanted to see a little bit more finesse, a little more touch and go from Illinois State. I love squaring around. I mean, that one was just foul. But putting this defense and having them work, if you're Illinois State, that's the way to go. That's the way to make adjustments.
1-1 to Mashing. Illinois State, solid season last year with 23-31, but 16-11 in conference play, and got to the semifinals of the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Tina Kramos in her 3rd season as the head coach, but she's been a part of the Illinois State program for 25 years now. That's a strike. Long-time associate head coach for Melinda Fisher, who retired a couple of years ago. Great history of Illinois State softball. Outside and the count full to Mashing.
Mashing, one of the hitters to watch out for in this Illinois State lineup, and just showing a patience, a great eye, a lot of discipline.
Grounds it sharply, but Catherwood, a couple of steps to her right, retires Mashing 4-3.
This one, you can see Mashing trying to make the adjustment up in the box, but still slightly too early. But you can see the adjustments starting to happen for Illinois State in the box as they're going through their 2nd time through this lineup.
Tatum Wolford, true freshman from Puerto, Iowa. Popped down to the infield in her first at bat today. 4 for 17 to start her career. Skies it foul, and it's 1-1. You don't want to mess with Wolford. In the state of Iowa, a runner-up in the state in wrestling. And we know how serious wrestling is taken in Iowa. So, just, not that we ever promote any type of scrap on the field, but maybe stay away from 15 in the Illinois State uniform. She'll take you down. Popped up foul right side, 1-2.
The strength needed to be and competing at that level as a wrestler. There's a lot of strength. There's a lot of mobility. I'm always a fan whenever an athlete isn't just a one-sport athlete. I think it makes them better.
Now, Wolford will go down on strikes, but to that point, I mean, obviously softball, basketball, the wrestling, and also a cross-country runner in her time in high school. So, I mean, she was
the girl who does it all.
It's the second strikeout for Kennedy Bird today, and there's 2 down. Excuse me. Kennedy Bird pitched yesterday. This is Brooke McNichols. Her second strikeout today. And now Julia Larson, who has one of the 3 FIU hits in the ball game, stepping in. One of the 3 Illinois State hits. I'm all turned upside down right now. 0-1, hit hard by Larson, but the center fielder Meredith in the right positioning. And for the first time today, Illinois State goes down 1-2-3. And just like 1-2-3, we're into the 5th inning here in Puerto Vallarta. No score, Panthers and Redbirds.
Officially human behind the stripes. Our mission is to elevate the respect of sport officials in every sport, at every contest, and at every venue, at all levels of competition.
Scott Sudikoff and Nicole Mendez back with you as we're into the top of the 5th inning. No score in this game. Well, Nicole Mendez, my partner today. You see all the accolades. This is why, if you're watching this game, you should listen to what she says, because she knows what she's talking about. Had a 360 average in her career at Oklahoma. Hit 25 homers, 572 slugging percentage, no big deal. 428 OBP. I mean, that could have been better. I mean, it could have been 430, but we'll take it. But an Olympian, national champion, and so happy to have her with us on the Flow College softball team.
Man, I would give anything to be back in an Oklahoma uniform, getting to play opening preseason right now. Man, those were some of the best times. I just loved being on the field with my teammates. And I said it earlier this week, but preseason for me is the best time of the year as a college athlete. You get to play against so many different teams. There's this excitement, and it's almost like a mix of travel ball where you're just going out and you have double headers and you're playing back to back to back to back days, but everybody is competing at this high level. It was one of my favorite times.
And for a team like Illinois State, where you really can't get a home game until late March, if you're lucky, they get to come to Puerto Vallarta. They were at Tampa last weekend at USF playing there. There's FIU. I'm sure they obviously they enjoyed the trip to Puerto Vallarta, but it's they're coming from a place where they got some games in already at home last week.
A little bit more sunny there.
Rosenbacher takes the strike all the way on the 3-0 pitch.
I won't lie, that's also another reason why I liked preseason. We weren't going to be playing at home in Oklahoma the first few weeks, so a lot of California, a lot of tropical trips. Puerto Vallarta a couple times in my career as well.
In the air off the bat of Grossenbacher, Wolfer, the center fielder, makes the catch. 1 down.
This is a great comeback from Meshnik, going down 3-0, battling back and getting this out. Talk about leadoff. Almost every single inning except for the second, that leadoff has been retired. And you know whenever a leadoff gets on base, percentages of scoring go way up. She's done a great job managing.
Had one clean inning in the third, 1-2-3 that frame, but a walk in each of the first 2 innings, and a double allowed in the fourth by Meshnik. Bella Perez off the end of the bat. Foul, 1-1. Right now for FIU, it's acting head coach Mike Myers, with Mike Larrabee stepping away in January. And our best goes out to Coach Larrabee on his cancer diagnosis. And Larrabee, the head coach of the FIU program since 2021. And again, Perez, opposite way, out of play. A great start to the Panthers season at 5-1. One-run victories over Indiana and Iowa State last week. And also a one-run victory over Stony Brook. And the other wins, two-run wins over Stony Brook and yesterday against Boise State. 2-2 now.
Wilkerson trying to bring that one back over the plate, but even then, I still think that's a great setup pitch as a pitcher. Just because a ball is a ball doesn't mean it was a bad pitch. Setting her up on that inside to allow a slower pace.
Golf by Perez into right center field, diving and making the play. Julia Larson robbing extra base hits from Bella Perez.
Talk about clutch. This one was hammered deep into the gap, and you can see she starts at that shadow line and tracks it all the way a couple feet from the fence, but just tracking it all the way in. That was phenomenal range. That first step, that is what really stands out to me for Larson and getting that play in. Little touch on the chest, maybe a little winded from the dive, but otherwise all good.
All one high to Paige Miller, who tried to bunt her way on, and Bella Wilkerson behind the dish, as Nicole explained it when it happened, really exploded out of her stance to make sure she could grab it quickly and get the out at first base. Miller thinking about it again. It'll be 2-0. See the outfield. Center fielder Wolford pulled over towards left. It went to third, and Atkinson makes the play. And a second time that Meshnik has put down the Panthers 1-2-3. We go to the home half of the fifth inning. Which team is going to break through first? No score between the Panthers and the Redbirds. The ultimate college fan experience is now here. Head to flowcollege.com to watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 12 different conferences, all in one place. flowcollege.com. Well, Puerto Vallarta is certainly one of the places to be this weekend if you are a softball fan. With 4 more games on tap today. And then tomorrow, wrapping up with 4 more games, all here on Flow College. It's been a pitcher's duel so far, Nicole. No score into the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting for Illinois State, 17, the catcher, Bella Wilkerson.
Bella Wilkerson will go after the first pitch and try to make this pitcher's duel go the other way. It's off the left field fence. And a double for Wilkerson, Illinois State's 4th hit of the game.
I mean, you just said it. It has been a pitcher's duel, but this one, with one swing of the bat, you can create momentum. You can disrupt what has been very, very dominant pitching on both sides. And Illinois State, I think back to the catch that was made out in right center last inning. That's when you felt that momentum shift into the hands of Illinois State, and they have just taken it and literally run with it all the way to second base. What a great way to start off and get that lead off on.
Sevilla Freeland pinch running for Wilkerson at second. Bela Bogner will be the batter. The third time the Redbirds have had a runner in scoring position so far today. Bogner looking to bunt. And a throw behind the runner, and she's out. Freeland, the true freshman, strayed a couple of steps too far, and Bella Perez throws her out at second base and wipe away the double.
I mean, that's a fine line as a defender. You saw the way that was planned. That was a throwback right there to Catherwood to get that one. It was a pitch out, but as a runner, as soon as you see that catcher step out too far to the side, you want to make sure that you're not getting too far from that bag.
And it hurts even more because Bela Bogner just delivered a hit. And now she's at first base. If we have a chance to throw a replay look up on the Bogner hit there. As Ella Boyer is the batter. That's high. 1-1 to Boyer. That play looked closer at second base than I thought as well. Freeland.
Everything looks closer in slow-mo.
That's true. Boyer into back at second. Caught by Grossenbacher. And there's two down. Top of the order, Delaney Bryant coming up. She's 2 for 2 in this game. Three-time All-Missouri Valley Conference first team twice, including last year.
One thing this inning, I've seen Illinois State, they're attacking those pitches lower in the zone. I mentioned all the pop flies, bringing the ball down, zoning it in, being a little bit more selective as we get into these later innings. You're going to start to see some hits happening, not just for Illinois State, but for FIU as well.
McNichols almost hitting Bryant with that pitch inside, and the count is 3-0. And now the catcher, Perez, will talk with McNichols. First baseman Martinez also.
McNichols has been attacking this entire game. This is only the third time that she's thrown 2 balls in a row. She has been going at the hitter, so I like this timeout really quick from her catcher to go out and just say, hey, let's just get back on track and reset ourselves. That's what you want to see, and Bella Perez does a nice job doing that.
Allowed 5 hits, but no free passes, no walks, no hit by pitches. Well, on a 3-0 count, there is the first free pass. And I wonder if part of the message there may have been, maybe let's not mess around too much and maybe start over with Bella Atkinson. Got first and second with 2 outs. Illinois State going to make a change on the base paths. Looks like, I'm guessing, making a change out at second base where Bela Bogner is stationed, and that is the case. Marissa Moffitt, freshman, will go in to run. Bella Atkinson, sacrifice bunt and a pop out in the infield today. Illinois State No runs, 5 hits, no errors. FIU, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Atkinson. Atkinson in the air center, but Callie Meredith had a beat on it, makes the easy play. And the Redbirds leave 2 runners on base, and they leave their 3rd runner in scoring position today. We head to the 6th. It is still 0-0 on Flow College.
Curley celebrating 30 meters out.
There's 5,000 meters on the track, ready to roll. Collegiate national lead.
In the close there on her inside, but it looks like Shaki could take this front to 200-meter final.
Brad Fisher, the American record holder. This is super Cuban.
But Holloway crossed the line. He's only 3 100s outside the world record.
Triple Crown Sports would like to recognize and thank the Camuda Puerto Vallarta for their hospitality and use of facilities. Triple Crown would also like to thank North American Travel for taking care of all the busing and transportation needs to make the PV College Challenge run so smooth.
Top of the order, top of the 6th for FIU. Callie Meredith, Collier Peated, and Kendall Catherwood coming up. And Hannah Meshnick continues in the circle for Illinois State, as she has gone the first 5, just 1 hit, a couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts. And we'll see again. We're into crunch time in this first game of the day. Which of these teams can break through? And Nicole, it's been Illinois State that's had the chances with the 5 hits and the 5 runners left on.
And you saw it last inning. They have started to get something together offensively and defensively. I think the discipline at the plate has been the game changer for them, where you started to see, all right, we're going to eliminate some pitches. I'm willing to give up the strike that's up in the zone to go after the strike that I know that's coming lower in the zone. And you started to see those balls fly through the infield, fly through a little bit harder. FIU, a little bit of trickery. As we
Meredith
just saw.
will take the punt back. Bella Wilkerson, who was pinch run for, is back behind the dish for Illinois State, as expected. Center fielder Wolford shading towards left field and playing shallow for Meredith. 0 for 2 today after going 2 for 3 yesterday. Second team All-Conference USA last year for the Panthers. Batting average at just under 500 now. Started at 524 today. And the count will be 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This one, a tough foul ball that just ricochets right back into Wilkerson, into her leg. Tell you what, catchers, they are so tough mentally to be able to get behind and call these games, but also physically.
2-2 now to Meredith. Sharply hit, and with the infield playing drawn in there, Boyer, no chance for that one. And Meredith with a leadoff single for FIU.
And this one is an elevated pitch, but what Meredith does so well is keep her hands high as a slapper. The tendency and the natural urge is, as I'm moving through the zone, let my hands drop. If you're able to keep those hands nice and high, those rise balls, they're not going to be popped up, but they're going to see what we just saw, just rip through the infield.
And Meredith, first time she's been caught stealing this year. She says no way. She was 5 for 5 before that. She's staying on the base. Let's get a look. They basically pitched out. They knew it was coming. Oh, that looks like that left hand. The oven mitt got in there, and the tag was lower on the body around the hip. And I think that Callie Meredith has a case here. But our umpire
I agree. I think that left hand snuck in there, but whenever you're an umpire and the throw is that low, look at the angle from which he's seeing this at. Right there, the helmet is kind of blocking the tag. You're not able to tell from that angle if that hand sneaks in there, which, yeah, you can tell that it does.
So a tough break for FIU, where don't have the ability to go to the review here. Now the bases are empty. Eden will pop it up. Out of play. 1-1.
Like you said, a tough break for FIU. They have been doing everything that they can to create momentum, and they've had some moments, I think, back to the fourth inning, where they had potential.
The fourth inning had the one-out double by Kennedy Bird, but a fielder's choice and a ground out left the runner on base. Matchstick will be hunting her third strikeout. Instead, Peden, bounding ball, cut off by Atkinson. And that's the second out.
This one just a little out of the zone, a little early. But look how close up Atkinson was. She was crashing hard, anticipating what FIU does best is that touch and go, especially with those top two in the lineup.
Now Catherwood comes up with 2 outs and nobody on base. She's drawn a walk and has struck out today. Ground ball right side. Diving Bryant, throwing from her backside, but not in time. Infield single for Catherwood.
This one just placed perfectly, but as she dove, that glove just got tucked underneath Bryant, and that's where you saw that roll come in. And by that time, especially if you're the runner, you know that it's going to be a foot race. No chance. And FIU living a little bit here for the energy and momentum. We are late here in the sixth inning. Either team has really pulled ahead one way or another. It's anybody's game.
Catherwood's already swiped a bag today. She's 4 for 4 on the season. Let's see if they try to get that runner back in scoring position. High ball one to Kennedy Bird. Now, of course, the opposite idea here is Kennedy Bird can mash the ball. Hasn't yet really done it in an FIU uniform, but I mentioned she had 23. In fact, she had 58 home runs in her 2 junior college campaigns. So you could say maybe just stay put at first base, and Kennedy might drive you in either way.
And this is where, especially with 2 outs, if you're a runner at first and you see anything leave the infield, you're looking for 2, if not 3 bases.
Bird had a double her last time. Back to the bag. Catherwood gets. You saw the caught stealing earlier this inning. In the 4th inning, you had a fielder's choice play at third base on a nice infield decision. And there's also been a runner cut down as Bird drives it to left. It's going to stay in the park, and running it down is mashing into foul territory. Maybe just a little bit more there from Kennedy Bird, and FIU may have been on the board, but instead we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 0-0 Panthers and Redbirds. FIU threatened in the top of the 6th inning. Leadoff single by Callie Meredith. Looked like she had second base stolen, but was called out. Later on, Catherwood is single, and Kennedy Bird put a good charge into a ball, but it was tracked down by Mashing in left field. So Illinois State ends up stranding their 4th runner on base in this game. Illinois State out hitting FIU 5-3. And have left 5 runners on base, including 3 in scoring position. So at this point, Nicole, when you're in the bottom of the 6th inning, it's which team is just going to take advantage of one opportunity that could be the difference. Abby Knight, ground ball, first pitch, stabbed by Martinez, tags the bag, 1 pitch, 1 out.
I have to say here is where FIU has had the most use of these later innings. They have been tough, hard-fought games that they've played so far this year that have been very, very tight. So they're not uncomfortable in this position at all.
Mashing coming on. Meredith will make the catch on the infield dirt. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
This one just timing a little early. You can see that in the barrel angle. You can see it how she was reaching, but I love the communication here from Meredith out in center field with her middles, letting them know, okay, I have a long way to go, but this one is all mine.
24-15.
Pinch hitter for Illinois State. It'll be Addison Hopkins. He's going to pinch hit for Tatum Wolford. Hopkins, a sophomore from Shawnee, Kansas. First team All-Missouri Valley Conference last year as a designated player / utility for the Redbirds. Hit .347 with a homer and 18 RBI. 3 for 17 to start this season. And it's quickly down 0-2.
Pinch hitter this late in the game.
Ball 1.
You really want to see, and if you're somebody who could likely come in and pitch it, talking to your teammates throughout the whole game. What is she throwing? Has she adjusted? Helps prepare you for these moments. It is not easy being a pinch hitter, getting called off the bench, not being able to go, okay, next at bat I can adjust. A lot of times you might just get one.
Hopkins stays alive. McNichols trying to join their counterpart, Meshnik, with 6 scoreless innings in this game. The 2-2 again. Ground ball right to the second baseman, Catherwood. And we go to the 7th. Neither team has put one across. FIU already has a 7th inning victory in Puerto Vallarta this week. And we'll see which team can get the late inning victory coming up next on Flow College. Beautiful Puerto Vallarta 2025 Puerto Vallarta College Challenge. Going to the 7th inning of game 1 of 5 today. And there's no score between the Illinois State Redbirds and the FIU Panthers. Hannah Meshnick in the circle for Illinois State. 6 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Along with those 2 strikeouts, 7 fly ball outs and 8 ground ball outs. And Janelle Martinez leading off for the Panthers, a walk and a fielder's choice today. Look at Meshnick. (1-0). 2 balls, no strikes. Zelenka and Grossenbacher are due up next. If anybody reaches, it'll be Bella Perez.
Both of these pitchers have been so effective in working throughout the zone and keeping these hitters off balance. The amount of fly balls and early contact points that we've seen throughout this game is just a testament to that. But in the 7th inning, what it comes down to, it doesn't matter what happened in the first 6, doesn't matter how great the pitcher is throwing as a hitter, your only thought is, how can I get on base? How can I pass the bat?
Martinez up the middle, Boyer ranging to the bag to make the play.
This one, again, you see the body out in front just a little early there from Martinez. That is what Meshnick does so well, is get these FIU hitters to not only swing out of their timing, but swing early in the count.
Here's Zelenka, 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a ground out to third. Addison Hopkins has remained in the game in center field for Illinois State after her pinch hitting appearance in the bottom of the 6th inning. Zelenka goes after the 2-0. Atkinson, the call on the catch. 2 down.
This one, the sun is brutal this side of the field. And that, by bailing out of your position for Boyer and letting Atkinson take that over, Atkinson is not battling the sun from the same angle that Boyer is. So that's the right call, and that is knowing your situation. That's knowing the sun.
Strike 1 to Grossenbacher, who's flied out to right and to center. Meshnick's looking for her third 1-2-3 inning of the game and wants to put this opportunity to the Redbirds in the bottom of the 7th and need just 1 run to walk off with the win. 1-1 the count. FIU with a 5-1 start to their season. All 5 victories by 2 runs or fewer. Strike 2 to Grossenbacher.
Again, that spread, that is an off speed at the farthest, slowest point. Whenever you look at the strike zone, lowest and away, that is going to make you feel as a hitter way out in front, way slower.
Grossenbacher on a line to center, and it's caught out there to retire the side. And actually, it is Wolford who did stay in or go back in to play center field. So Wolford did remain in center field. As we can see, she made that catch. It's the third 1-2-3 inning for Hannah Meshnick. And the Redbirds, who do have an 8-inning 2-1 victory over Delaware, will look to walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning for their 2nd win this year. We'll find out next if it happens on Flow College. Bottom of the 7th inning, Illinois State a chance to win it here. 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Larson, Wilkerson, and Bogner. And those three have accounted for 3 of Illinois State's 5 hits. Larson, first pitch, won't have a hit there. We had a single back in the second, and she pops out on the first pitch of the 7th inning.
That's a trend that we have seen. A lot of fly balls, a lot of hitters reaching and wanting to go after these pitches. Where Illinois State has found success is whenever they go after those lower pitches and they are zoning the ball down.
Wilkerson doubled last time up in the 5th inning. Then the pinch runner Freeland was picked off of second base, cutting down the start of a potential big inning for the Redbirds. Outside 1-1 from McNichols. Beautiful pitch, 1-2.
As a hitter, your mindset in the situation, bottom of the 7th, 2 strikes, attack, protect. Having that mindset is, I don't care where the ball is. I don't care how hard or how slow this pitch is. No matter what, I'm getting on base. I'm winning this battle.
And the count runs full. Wilkerson trying to get on base and be that winning run. Ball 4 will send Wilkerson to first base. The winning run for Illinois State.
That's where that discipline comes in. It's always about that tough mindset. And whenever you get a free base as a team, that is something to go crazy about. You didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was be disciplined at the plate. There was no hit. There was no nothing. It was a free bag that you get. And in this 7th inning, every 60 feet matters.
Second walk issued by McNichols. There's only the 5 hits scattered across the game. Bogner checks her swing, but it's a called strike, and it's 0-2. Bogner is singled. That was in the 5th. Struck out in the 2nd. Just got a piece, and it's a fair ball. And that'll be the 2nd out, but it does get Wilkerson up to second base. So really anything now that gets to the outfield. Good score, the winning run for the Redbirds.
Was a great job by Bogner not letting that ball hit her as she was running through. She was able to duck under. If that had hit her, that would have been a live ball. It would have been a dead ball, and the runner wouldn't have been able to advance.
So now, let's see what Tina Kramos does either at the plate or on the base paths. Wilkerson, if you pinch run for her at second, she's done for the day. But she already was pinch run for and then reinserted back in. It's going to be a pinch hitter at the very least, Lexi Griffin. A junior transfer from Parkland Community College in Illinois. 0 for 2 in her Illinois State career so far. Chance to win it for the Redbirds. Strike 1. Wilkerson, as you can see, remaining at second base. Timeout called at the plate before the 0-1 to Griffin. Illinois State out-hitting FIU for the game 5-3. Neither team has made an error. Redbirds entering this inning have left 5 runners on base. 3 of them in scoring position. FIU has left 4 runners on base. Chases, and it's 0-2.
Big swing, and McNichols. I love the fact that this is a big moment, and she hasn't changed what she's been doing all game long. She has just been steady Eddie the entire time.
Goes well off the plate with that pitch. And we saw Griffin watching it all the way. 1-2. Griffin stays alive.
Again, it goes back to that mindset that we saw with the runner on second. I don't care the count. I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to win this. I'm going to get on base. I'm going to battle.
Griffin trying to beat this one out. Miller's throw low. Great scoop by Martinez to retire Griffin at first base and send this game to extra innings. 0-0. The 8th inning is next. The Puerto Vallarta College Challenge on Flow Sports.
Make your way to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and see how real Southern hospitality works to make your business trip or family vacation a perfect stay. Features are forever inviting and all the entertainment options at every turn. You know the good times will fill every minute of the day, so get the full picture of Myrtle Beach at discoversouthcarolina.com.
Time for some extra innings on Flow College. 0-0 FIU and Illinois State to the top of the 8th inning. For the 8-9-1 due up for the Panthers, it's still Hannah Meshnick in the circle. No runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts over her 7 innings pitched in this game.
22 for 25, Matt.
And a pinch hitter will be leading off for FIU. Kalina Downing is going to pinch hit, and then there's the runner starting things off at second base, Bailey Grossenbacher. Will start at second base in this 8th inning. Tiebreaker runner. Downing. Got to sacrifice her to third. Does it successfully.
And that is all that is asked and required of you, is getting the ball down. And the way she placed it in no man's land, not hitting it too hard over to third base, because we know that this Illinois State team, they look ahead defensively. They anticipate very well. So something too hard to a third baseman, and you might not have a runner standing on third. That was a great bunt, executed perfectly.
And now Mike Myers is going to make another change at the plate. Paige Miller was the batter due. And coming on up is Brooke McCann, who started and had 3 at-bats yesterday against Boise State, was 1 for 3. She's 3 for 7 on the season. Missed all of last year due to a preseason injury. Chance to put FIU on the board. Ball 1 low. 2-0 to McCann. You got Callie Meredith on deck. Singled her last time up.
Just being patient and letting her come to you. Wait for that swing that you want. You have a runner on third.
Outside of third and foul. Atkinson grabbing it in foul territory.
Especially in a situation
you go ahead,
like
Nicole.
this. Yeah, especially in a situation like this, anything hit over to the left side, you know that's a temptation where they're going to try to file you into. Everything has to be going oppo or something deep enough that outfield is going to have to be able to make the play.
Terrific pitch location there, around the knees, outer half of the plate. Now let's see where Meshnik comes with this one at 2-2. Over the heart of the plate and into left field. And the first run of the game comes home. Grossenbacher, the tiebreaker runner to begin the inning, scores. And McCann delivers with a pinch hit RBI single.
And this one elevated hard enough to get through the infield. And that is what FIU has been waiting to see. They've been waiting for it. They are not unfamiliar in this situation. They've battled many times already in this short preseason that we've had so far, and a lot of one-run ball games that they've won because of that toughness.
Every single game that they have played this season has been decided by 2 runs or fewer. 5-1 start.
Re-entering the lineup, number 18,
Paige Miller will re-enter and run at first base. And Callie Meredith, the batter. Now is when you look for the extra run. It's, 1 run is almost expected in this situation, but getting up by 2 or more is what makes the difference in these extra innings.
Now batting number 6, center fielder Callie Meredith.
Mike Myers
Whenever
running
you
through
find
the
yourself
signs.
Back up at the top of the lineup with 2 of your best hitters, you're in good shape.
Meredith the bunt. Atkinson charges, throws, and the throw is wide, and it goes out of play. So that will allow Miller to go to third. Meredith was probably beating that one out anyways. Will also get to second on the throwing error. Well, maybe had her there at first.
This would have been an out. But again, it's knowing where the runner is, knowing in those moments where, the bunt, everything in the moment gets very big, to settle and not panic, to relax and reset.
And that's going to be the end of the outing for Meshnik. Paige McLeod is coming on to pitch. We'll take a quick break, tell you about McLeod on the other side. It's 1-0 FIU in the top of the 8th inning in Puerto Vallarta. Well, your sports are always better on the big screen. Head to your preferred device app store. Download the all-new Flow Sports TV apps for Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, and Chromecast. Set your favorites, search our library of live and on-demand content, and so much more. Download today. Paige McLeod, the new pitcher for Illinois State, making her 5th appearance of the season, her 2nd in relief. She has an 0-3 record, but a 1.79 ERA. 8 runs, but only 4 of them earned in 15 2/3 innings. Opponents hitting .283. And she pitched against BYU yesterday, allowed the 1 run, but it was unearned. 6 hits in the 7 innings with a walk and 3 strikeouts. She comes on with runners on 2nd and 3rd and 1 out for FIU, and the go-ahead run already on the board.
Offensive change for Florida International.
This one, McLeod coming in to pitch, and you said it best, but there's already 1 run across the board. You want to minimize the damage. 1 out with 2 runners in scoring position. I want to attack these hitters and have them hit something over to my left side of the field. Hold up that run. Get easy outs for my defense.
Pinch hitting here is Natalie Burns for Collier Peden. Burns is sophomore from Bloomington, Indiana. Not to be confused, the home of Illinois State in Bloomington, Illinois. Burns chops it up the third base side and foul. Burns is 1 for 2 early on in the season. Miller is at third. She was reinserted to run after McCann had the pinch hit RBI single. Ground ball, second base. Bryant trying to go to the plate. Not going to be in time. Everybody's going to be safe. 2-0 FIU on the RBI fielder's choice by Natalie Burns.
In a situation like that, whenever the ball takes you that far up the middle and knowing the speed that you have at third base, getting the out at first is going to be the most important thing that you can do, because right now you just created a ton of momentum and energy for FIU. Look how fired up Paige Miller was. But also, now you have runners on the corners, first and third, and only 1 out.
Catherwood, the batter, had an infield single her last time, walked in the first inning. Runner, first and second, dancing around, and they let her move up to second base. Burns. You have Meredith at third. You know, the idea there was for her to sneak in and score. One-zero pitch. 1-1 now to Catherwood. One from McLeod. Outside. 2-1. McLeod, second team All-Missouri Valley Conference last year with a .252 ERA in 29 games, made 15 starts, had an 11-7 record. Pitched 2 no-hitters last season. The second Redbird and first freshman with a pair of no-hitters in a season. Did it March the 2nd, so early on in the year against Loyola Chicago, and then May the 3rd, late in the year, against conference foe Evansville. Up the middle, spinning, Boyer throws to first, got the out, as you can see in the back door. Comes Callie Meredith, and it's 3-0 FIU.
FIU just capitalizing on the momentum. This is a hard hit ball up the middle, but this is the right call for Boyer to go to first, not try to go and get that runner out going at home, but getting outs for your defense here.
Moving up to third is Burns. 3-0 FIU. And Kennedy Bird at the plate. 1 for 3 with a double. Off the end of the bat and off the end of the glove of Bryant into foul territory. That'll bring home another run. And it's 4-0 FIU on the RBI base knock by Kennedy Bird.
This team familiar with having to be in these situations and battle. That is an excellent effort there by Delaney Bryant, but a little bit too far. That ball just tailing towards the foul ball line. FIU has come up clutch here in the 8th inning. They know what needs to be done. Like I said, they've been in this situation every single game of their season so far, and that makes teams tough.
Janelle Martinez is the batter due after the Bird hit to make it 4-0 FIU. discussion here. Not sure what about. Martinez 0 for 2 with a walk. Strike one down the middle from McLeod. So a sacrifice bunt began the inning that moved over the tiebreaker runner to third by Downing, who was pinch hitting, and then the pinch hitter McCann with the RBI single. Grounded foul. Callie Meredith laid down a bunt, but a throwing error at first base allowed her to reach. And a run scored on that play as well. Ground ball up the middle. This won't score a run. Bird will go up to second, and the inning will continue. For FIU, had the fielder's choice RBI, the RBI ground out. Bird single that brought in a run. And now a chance for more as Sammy Zelenka, the batter, do.
It's been a complete team mindset here for FIU this inning of pass the bat, pass the bat, pass the bat, be tough. I've seen several two-strike situations as well where they've come up tough.
Nicole, we can also see how, the tiebreaker runner beginning at second base, just changes the situation, and FIU able to, get that first run on the board. But like I said, it's adding on afterwards that it really makes the difference. And now Illinois State, they're going to have a great chance to at least put one on the board, but they're going to need at least three more, of course. Strategy changes.
People say golf is a mind game, but softball, there's a lot of strategy involved. There's a lot of IQ, softball IQ that goes into this game, especially in situations like these.
3-1 to Zelenka. In essence, you're almost handed a run in these extra inning scenarios as long as you execute. But it sort of does, mentally give you a boost to score that run as Zelenka into right field. Bird is coming to the plate. The relay in time, and Kennedy Bird is thrown out at the plate. That's the third out. Illinois State was throwing around again to other runners, maybe just in case here. But Zelenka got a hit. Bird is out at the plate. And we'll remember this play because if Illinois State can find 4 runs, they'll be able to continue this game down 4-0 to the bottom of the 8th on Flow College. FIU scores 4 runs in the top of the 8th inning. Only one of them is earned. Of course, the tiebreaker runner is unearned because they just start on base, of course, and then you had the error later that helped a couple of more runs cross the plate. And for FIU, it's Kennedy Bird now coming on to close the door after she had an RBI single in the top of the 8th inning. Coming on in relief of Brooke McNichols.
Defensive change for the Panthers. now pitching.
Like you said, last inning, there's that free runner on second. The ability, if you execute, to get those runs across the board, it's there, it's waiting. But it's the additional runs that you have to think about if you're Illinois State. And again, that changes the strategy. Just a simple bunt won't do because you're not going for one run. You're having to go for four.
Number 12, Delaney Bryant.
Boyer begins at second base. Top of the order, Delaney Bryant. On 0 pitch. In the air, Martinez gives it a look. Ella Perez, who was pinch hit for in the top of the 8th inning, is back behind home plate. Brooke McNichols, the FIU starter, went 7. No runs, of course. 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And now Kennedy Bird looking to shut the door. Not a save chance here for Bird, but we saw her pitch well yesterday. 2 runs on 8 hits over 7 innings with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts in the 4-2 victory over Boise State. Lined foul.
Extra innings base runner for Illinois State. Now it's second.
Great swing by Bryant. Bryant, you could tell that she was waiting on that pitch. Her timing was set up for that off speed. And whenever you get into the 8th inning and you are your 4th time up to bat, start to have tendencies.
Like 3.
No match.
Got her looking. The 3rd strikeout by by FIU pitching today.
Now batting 7, Bella Atkinson.
Something about a back-to-back change for me. It gives me goosebumps. I get giddy inside. I love it whenever pitchers are bold enough to trust that pitch and go back-to-back.
2-0 to Bella Atkinson, who's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt today. Coming up next, FIU will battle North Dakota State. Game scheduled for a 12:30 start. And Boyer, the runner at second to begin the inning. 3-1 to Atkinson.
Atkinson set up really nicely here for a good swing.
They'll slice it down the right side, foul. FIU was being out-hit just about all game and had 6 hits in the final 3 innings. And, of course, the 4 runs in the 8th inning. And on the hands, Atkinson popped it up, caught by Catherwood behind the bag. 2 down.
This one just tight in on the hands. Nice pitch by McNichols. Just going at it again. I love her composure on the mound. It doesn't matter if it was a big situation in the bottom of the 7th or just trying to get this game and wrap it up, tied up with the bow after her offense came through for her last inning here in the 8th.
Abby Knight. Ahead of the count, 2-0. Knight's 0 for 3. Dropped in there by Kennedy Bird to make it 2-1. Now 3-1.
Knight making McNichols work for it. She's not surrendering any pitch, not an at-bat.
Count will run full with 2 down in the bottom of the 8th inning at FIU. Trying to move to 2-0 in Puerto Vallarta and 6-1 on the season. This would be their first game not decided by 2 or fewer unless Illinois State has something to say about it here. We'll have another 3-2 pitch.
Knight loving this battle from her. Sometimes as a hitter, it is so easy to give up, to surrender, making every pitch matter, resetting every pitch.
In the air, left center, Meredith charges in to make the play, and FIU wins again. They're now 6-1 on the year. They needed 2 runs in the 7th yesterday to break a 2-2 tie to defeat Boise State. They scored 4 runs at the top of the 8th inning to break a 0-0 tie with Illinois State for the 4-0 victory. And Nicole, we'll see FIU again about 40 minutes from now against North Dakota State. But what a great start to the season for the Panthers.
This is exactly what we wanted to see. A great ending. A tough battle at FIU, looking to get one more win today out here in Puerto Vallarta.
So the Panthers will take on the Bison coming up at 12:30 Central Time. Illinois State later today, they'll battle with Indiana. That game scheduled for 3 o'clock Central Time. But for now, for Nicole Mendez and our entire crew, Scott Sudikov signing off for now on Flow College. We thank you for watching the 2025 Puerto Vallarta College Challenge on Flow Sports.